Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun on Mishna. Today, Mishnayos span two prakim, Perek Hey and Perek Vav. End of Perek Hey and the beginning of Perek Vav. We'll be dealing with Mishnah, the last Mishnah in Perek Hey, Mishnah Tet. The Mishnah talks about lending out your stove and various utensils in the kitchen to help someone who's chashud al Sheviis. You know she's going to violate Hilchos Sheviis. You're allowed to lend her out your oven to bake her bread because, again, we explained it's two steps away. It's not giving her the avera right now, where basically you're presenting the avera right in front of her, which would be lifnei iver, but it's just called misayeh, a secondary helping. She has to go bake the bread then herself. You give her the oven. She doesn't violate it. Even when she bakes the bread, which is the first step, she bakes the bread, she doesn't violate it. She only violates it if she eats the bread, or she eats it without disposing of it properly. So it's a secondary step, as opposed to giving her a plow head, which she can take immediately and use it to plow a field, which was the first step, which would be leaf negiver. So we're dealing with an Isser Darabanan of Misayeya over Avera. Now, until now, we've understood Misayeya over Avera as an Isser Darabanan. But I have a question on this, because the Gemara on Shabbos, on Daf Sadi Gimel, on Beis, Sadi Daled, talks about Misayeya Yesh Bo Mamish, Misayeya Ein Bo Mamish. The Gemara discusses the discussion. Someone who helps. You don't need his help technically, right? The person can carry out the bread by himself through Sarabim. If it's a very heavy piece of bread that he couldn't carry out, then he's integral to carrying it out. But if he can carry it by himself, I'm just helping, I'm making it easy for him, aiding him. That is Ein Bo Mamish, the Gemara Paskins. It's not worth anything, and that's the maskan of the Gemara. So how could the Rabbanan Aser Misayeh over Avera over here? You lend her the Tanur and the Kirayim, you're secondary helping her. Why should that be Asr Min Rabbanan? I want to know at the end of the Mishnah, basically says, It uses the lashon of machzikin yidei over avera. What does it mean to be machzik yidei over avera? So it says machzikin yidei nachrim b'shvius. So that's referring to a Mishnah in the beginning of Perek Daled, Mishnah Gimel earlier on in Masechah Sheviis, where we learned about if a guy is doing work in Eretz Yisrael during the year of Shemitah, you're not allowed to do that. A goy is not mitzvah in Shemitah. The land might be mitzvah in Shemitah, but the goy is not mitzvah in Shemitah. You're allowed to say Yasha Koyach. You say, good job. You're working the land good. Thanks a lot, or whatever like that. You're allowed to say that in the Darkei Shalom. That's not really called Misayeh, but you're giving encouragement. Give encouragement does help a person. Like I explained, really midoraisa we paskin Misayeh and Mamish, and even though there's a Tosfos in Shabbos that says the Misayeh is also Drabanan, Tosfos in Daf Gimel and Aleph in Shabbos says Misayeh is also Drabanan. I'd like to suggest Misayeh and Mamish. It's really not also Drabanan at all. Mahzikin Yidei Nachrim merely means it's for us. So you shouldn't give encouragement to doing an Avera because it has a Rosh and it has an impact on us. To give encouragement to somebody who's doing an Avera, not that it's going to help him do the Avera, maybe it'll aid him, he'll be more encouraged, but it's on you, on the person. You shouldn't give encouragement to people that are doing the wrong thing, because I think it's more because of Sheker. That's really, I think, the idea, because you're lying to him. Really, you believe it's not a good thing he's doing, and you're giving him encouragement. It's Sheker. But the Mishnah says, Nei Darkei Shalom, it's mutter. Why is Darkei Shalom, it's mutter? Ways of peace, diplomacy, of having a good relationship with your fellow person. It's more than just not getting into a machlokes. Because again, what is it talking about? The Mishnah says, Shalom b'shlomam midei darkei shalom. You're allowed to say Shalom Aleichem. They explain, the Mefarshim explain, Tiferes, the Rambam says, the Malach Tiferes Yisrael says, he says, Af Shalom Shmo Shal Kadosh Baruch Hu. The reason being that normally it's also to say Shalom Shem Hashem in vain, Shalom Aleichem Hashem in vain. They Darkei Shalom, they allowed it. Just like they allowed Misayeya over Avera, which is Asr Rabbanan, and for Darkei Shalom they annulled that Isser Rabbanan. So that was the explanation I gave in the main shir. I want to fix that over here and say, really, there's no Isser. And why would you say Shalom Aleichem to a guy? He doesn't know what Shalom Aleichem means. You'd say hello. That's what we're talking about. And right, really, and the Mishnah is basically saying there's no reason to go ahead and say hello to a guy, but to go ahead and you start the conversation and say hello to him, that promotes peace, that promotes stability, that promotes good relations between you and your neighbors, which is essential and it's part of the Torah, right? Part of the Torah is living in peace with not just Jews, with your neighbors also. enhances the relationship. That's why you're allowed to even go encourage them when they're plowing the field during Shemitah. Encourage them, right? Even though you know it's wrong and you're technically lying, but you're not really lying because you're building shalom. That's the whole idea. Where the Gemara says in Yevamos, we learn on Daf Samech Hayamad Beis, the Gemara says you're mutter l'shanos b'nei shalom. You're allowed to change your way. You're allowed to lie. The Gemara says b'nei shalom. It's not that it's usher, but because of shalom they mattered it. It's not really lying because that's the way you're supposed to act. The way you're supposed to act is to breed and promote peace stability between people. That's not called being Mishna. That's not doing something different. That's coming and doing the normal thing. And the normal thing you're supposed to do is to breed peace. And therefore, all these things, it doesn't say Misayeh, Machzikin. It says She'ein Machzikin Yidei Over Avira. The reason a woman is not allowed to help a fellow Amaretz, a woman need her dough, even though in Machzikin, it's not because you're actually bimatame the challah, because maybe your hands are not tame, her hands are not tame. The chav eishas chaver. The reason you're not allowed to do it, a machzikin over avera, if there's no reason of shalom, for example, you're a Jewish woman and she's a Jewish woman, there's no enmity between you, so there's no reason to encourage it. Why encourage people? It's sheker. Don't encourage people. Don't encourage people to do something wrong when you don't believe in it. If there's natural enmity for goyim, so then you have to go out of your way to encourage, to promote friendship, to promote peace. But if there's no enmity, so there's no reason for you to encourage it. It's more than sheker, not midin misayeh over avera. That's what I would say to explain these mishnayos. Hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow.